Okay, today is the 6th of October 2009, and by my watch right now it's approximately 5:20 in the afternoon. For the purpose of the equipment that's operating right now, my name is Detective Sergeant Gary Giroux, and my last name is spelled Giroux. And we're here at 14 Division on the second floor at Dover Court in Harrison conducting an interview with a gentleman. Could you just say your name for the record?
Harold Amero, A-M-E-R-O.
Thanks very much. And just before we get started, as I indicated to you, Harold, I'm going to ask that each of us acknowledge that we understand this statement's being videotaped and audio taped, and that we each consent to that tape being made. And I indicate I consent.
Yeah, I consent.
Great. And as I also indicated to you, this statement will be taken under oath, solemn affirmation or solemn declaration, and it will be videotaped. And you must understand that it is a criminal offense under Section 139 and 140 of the Criminal Code to obstruct justice or to commit public mischief by making a false statement to the police during an investigation.
Yeah, I understand.
You understand that, right? Great. And you must further understand that you may be a witness at a trial concerning the events you describe in this statement, and if at that time you recant your statement or claim it to be false, it can and will be used at that trial, and you may be liable for prosecution under Section 137 of the Criminal Code for fabricating evidence. Finally, you must understand that you're not obliged to give this statement, and if any person has by words or acts attempted to persuade you to provide it, you are to disregard those words or acts and only give the statement if you freely choose to do so. Do you understand your right to choose whether or not to make a statement?
I understand. I just, I don't,
you don't know where it's going, basically.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know what I can, what I can tell you other than.
Well, what I told your brother this afternoon, and I'll read the rest of this in a second, is
I just read a bunch of it on the computer before I came here about like some of your statements that you said and a bit about the case, and I remember the case, but I don't. Cool. Like I just met those guys in the park that day. Yep. And then that's it. You know what I mean? Like
we're gonna expand on all that, and I'll just finish this. But I want to tell you something now while the subjects come up. Is that I've been doing it since 2007 when it happened. The difficulty, as I said to you, and I said it to your brother as well, that I can't tell you what I know based on the integrity of it all. It wouldn't be proper, right? So there's something you may say that may be hugely significant to me, right? Okay. So I'm just going to continue here. You also understand, Harold, that there's criminal consequences for making a false statement. Yeah. Okay. And you understand that this statement's going to be videotaped and it'll be under oath. Yeah. Okay. And you choose to give a statement and answer any questions that I.
Yeah, I'll answer your question.
Okay. And now Judy Gasperi she's the commissioner of oaths at this division. She's going to administer this oath to you. Okay.
As the police have explained, your statement to them is an important part of their investigation. You should know that it is a serious criminal offense to make a false statement to the police, to wrongly accuse someone of a crime, or to wrongly cause the police to enter into an investigation of another person. You should also understand that it is a serious offense to make a statement that is false. If you later get sworn evidence that is different from what you swear today, that could be another offense. Do you understand this caution?
Yeah, I understand it all.
Okay, and you wish to affirm? Do you, Harold Amero, solemnly affirm that the evidence that you shall give on this investigation shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yep.
Okay,
great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judy.
Thanks a lot.
So just by way of background, Harold, I'm going to just put on the record that I asked some of the officers from this division to come around to a club that you were playing at.
Yeah,
I understand you're in a band.
That's how I found out about this.
Right, and you're in a band.
Yeah.
And just for the record, what's the band's name?
Hobo Banditos.
Right, and your brother's in the band?
Yeah.
Okay, and some other guys, I assume?
Yeah,
Okay, and I understand that from the internet you play at a number of venues. Some of them are here in Toronto and some of them are outside Toronto.
Yeah, yeah.
So I asked the guys to go around to basically identify you because your name came up in the investigation.
Right, yeah.
And I didn't know who you were because you go by another name as well, right?
I go by Harold or Hal or Harry.
Right.
Harry. All short forms for Harold.
Right. Harry the Hat?
Well, that's like my handle in my band.
In the band, okay. And obviously you know from the conversations you had with the detectives last Saturday night that I'm interested in an investigation that I've been doing since 2007, and it has to do with a homicide at Niagara and Queen.
Yeah, stabbing.
Right? It's a stabbing, right? And the fact that there is someone, as I indicated to you before the tape was turned on, someone is charged with that offense.
Yeah.
But I come to you because of the fact that your name came up in the investigation, and I wanted to ask you, as I indicated before the tape was turned on, do you know them? How did you know
like,
them? When did you know them?
I think my brother met them like maybe a day before, like the Traveler Kids or whatever, and like just briefly in passing, you know what I mean? Maybe he was handing out a poster for a show or something like that. And I had met them that day. Like we were at this park, like kind of close to the Bellwoods. I think it's called Stanley Park.
Okay, while you're on that, I actually, I'm going to see if we can, I have a map, and I just want to see if it, you want to orientate yourself.
Oh, it's a nice map.
It's like a satellite map, eh? It's from space.
Yeah.
It's King, Adelaide, and I believe this park right here is called Stanley Park.
Wait a second. I believe it's this one.
Okay.
With the basketball court.
This one looks like it has a ball diamond in it.
Yeah, I don't think this park has a ball diamond.
So the north side.
Yeah, I'm pretty... Okay, yeah, this would be King Street. I know exactly where I'm at now. Yeah, we're right about here. Probably all drinking around here somewhere.
Okay, tell me about that night.
We're just, you know, out and about. I quit drinking for a while now, you know, and I used to drink quite a bit, you know, playing music and whatnot.
Yeah, of course.
Partying my younger days.
It's part of the persona.
And I lived on the streets. Like I was homeless when I was young for a long time. You know, I've been off the streets for, you know, I was off the streets then too. Mm-hmm. And I was just out and about drinking, and a lot of times people, like, you know, I go to certain parks and drink, and there was a big party kind of going on in there. A lot of people playing music, someone had a guitar, and just a big circle. You know, I would say there was probably 10 to 15 people. I'd say, if my memory serves me correctly. And I met those kids at that park, and we were all drinking together. I wasn't like, there was so many people, we weren't, you know, all really, like I wasn't really even conversing with them, you know what I mean? Like,
Did you speak to them?
I mean, I was introduced or what have you, you know, like, hey, how's it going kind of thing or whatever, you know, but I wasn't, like, I didn't even really talk to them, to tell you the truth, you know, like. Do
you remember any names being mentioned?
No, I really don't. Like, I really don't even know their names, you know. Okay. I read their names since on the computer, but I don't even think you know, I probably was introduced to them or whatever. But a lot of people use, you know, nicknames and whatnot.
Street names, nicknames. I'm just going to put these photographs out, which were the ones that the detective had the other night. Okay, and I'm just going to lay them down here in front of me. Now, do you recognize these people? In other words, do you recognize them from that night?
Yeah, I don't really. This guy really got messed up. Yeah, honestly, I really don't.
You don't recognize them, eh?
And I mean, in all honesty, is like, I play a lot of shows for a lot of like Traveler Kids, you know, and they kind of all look the same to me, you know what I mean?
Okay, well, I'm going to leave them there. And just tell me a little bit more about the narrative of what's going on in the park. You're drinking, there's about 10 to 15 people there.
Yeah,
what else is going on? Music?
People are playing guitar, people are playing music, just drinking, and then I think everybody just pretty much, you know, went on their way, like the different, you know, whoever was friends with whoever went that way, and I guess they probably left together. I don't know, I can't remember that. I left, I went to the bar.
What bar did you go to?
Probably Queen's Head, which I don't think is open anymore.
Where was it?
Like Queen and Bathurst.
Okay. Do you know for a fact you went there?
No, but I know I went to like a bar on Queen Street, and that's the bar that I used to frequent quite often back then. You know, it's Queen's Head.
Okay. And it's gone. What corner was it on?
It was like right at Queen and Bathurst, where the whatchamacallit, what's there now?
Well, there's Big Bop on the one corner.
Yeah, now it's the Tim Hortons took it over.
Oh, okay.
So it's like right by the Pita Pit on the other side of the Big Bop.
On the north side, the northeast side.
Yeah, northwest.
Northwest.
Or sorry, southwest.
Southwest. Okay.
Yeah, like right by the Pizza, and then the Pita Pit. And
across from that meeting house or meeting place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So you went there.
Yeah.
Who'd you go there with?
I don't know, a couple kids from the park, but definitely none of these kids.
Not these ones?
No, definitely not.
Okay. Now you said you met them that night?
Yeah, just while we were at the park, you know.
Okay. How do you even know it's them if you're not sure who they are?
These kids?
Yeah.
These are the kids you're talking about, right?
These are the kids I'm talking about, but if you don't recognize them, how do you know you met them that night?
Well, I'd imagine that's who they are. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
you know?
okay. But you're not really sure. Is that what you're saying?
When I look at these pictures, like it doesn't really, you know, I don't want to say that I met them if I didn't. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't.
Like I said, I don't want you to guess. But
yeah, no, and it's honestly not like you know, none of these faces look like I literally met these kids in that park, you know, like, you know, there's a bunch of kids there, and I literally just met them for like maybe an hour, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I wasn't even really talking with them or anything, you know what I mean? So
do you have any idea where they were from, what they were all about, what they were doing here in Toronto?
I think they were just traveler kids, you know, from the States, as far as I knew. So
Okay.
it was like, you know.
Okay. The victim, we put
Plus,
some...
I feel like weird too because I've read, you know what I mean. Now,
Yeah.
now I have read about it on the internet
Right.
and everything,
Right.
and I'm
And
trying
when was
to.
that?
Well, I
Today?
did tonight, yeah. Like
Okay.
today I did, and you know what I mean. I don't want to, like, you know, I just.
It's affecting your way of
Do you
thinking.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't. Like, you know what I mean? And I
Sure.
see it on the news and whatnot. But
Did you see it at the news then, or did you play some video of it?
that's why this guy looks familiar out of anybody, is because I seen like a footage on the news of a guy that was all beat up, and there was an ambulance, and he was swearing, giving the finger to the camera and everything. And I remember seeing that.
Okay.
It's like I don't, you know, like I just see this guy's beat up, and I'm,
Yeah.
you know, thinking maybe, but I don't honestly. I don't even.
But the guy that was beat up on the television, can you say that he was in the park?
No.
Okay.
Like, nah, I couldn't. You know,
Okay.
no.
Do you know who was playing the guitar in the park? Male, female,
I
young,
don't know,
old?
it's probably getting passed around, you know, like
Okay.
that's generally how it goes, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
You know how much you had to drink that night?
me?
Yeah.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Okay.
I mean, I wasn't wasted, but I was,
Yeah.
you know, I was drinking, you know.
Yeah. These posters. This
That's
is
the thing, too, you know, I was like, it's 2 years ago now, too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
These posters were put up in the store windows down around there. That's the victim's photograph. Okay. Do you remember seeing those posters up in the community?
No,
Okay. You ever seen him before?
no.
You can pick it up. It's okay.
Yeah, no,
Don't recognize him.
that's the guy that died.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Do you know where the stabbing took place?
Right by where my brother lives now, I think.
Where's that?
Like Queen of Niagara.
Is that where he is at now?
Yeah, my brother lives
Okay.
down there.
We at the time of the stabbing, were you at that corner?
No.
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 Okay. You were down the street.
That Queen of Bathurst, yeah.
Okay.
I guess, I suppose, you know, like I don't know what time the stabbing happened. But, you know.
After midnight.
But after I left the park, I went to the bar.
12:30.
Yeah, I'd probably still be at the bar at that point.
Okay.
Like I don't know why anybody would mention my name. Like, to be honest with you, which is why it weirds me out. And around that same time, I had like someone had phoned the police and like lied to the police and said I sold guns and all this, and I had SWAT team come to my house, and like they had a warrant and a whole.
Yeah, you were charged with possession of a firearm, right?
No,
No?
I've never been charged with that
Oh, okay.
ever. No, they like the police apologized and they told
No gun
me.
was found?
Oh no, nothing was found
Oh,
at
okay.
all. Like it was completely bullshit. And the cops, like, you know, it was a big ordeal. You know, like I lost my apartment over it. It was,
Right.
you know, it was retarded.
Yeah.
And the detectives, like, they told me straight up. They're like, well, we're not allowed to say who it was, but they're like, someone's fucking with you, you know. And I was
okay.
like, okay, well, I don't know if it's an ex-girlfriend or what, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I've never been involved in anything like that in my life. You know, I've never
Yeah.
even owned a gun. I've never even fired a fucking gun. You know,
Yeah.
like,
That's pretty evil though to send the police around to.
yeah, no, yeah, I know. And then, you know, now I'm hearing 2 years later that someone's mentioning me in this shit. Like, I don't know these kids, and I wouldn't, you know, I don't associate people like that. Like,
Okay.
you know, and I make music, and that's about it. But
Yeah.
I mean,
And you have another job as well.
oh, I work, yeah.
So
But I mean, like, I from living on the streets and stuff, like,
Yeah.
I know, like, the American kids have, like, a different fucking state of mind than, you know what I mean, most of the kids from here. And I pretty much learned at a young age to just kind of keep my distance from them, if you
Okay.
know what I mean. Like,
Okay. Wanted to show you another photograph. I wanted to ask you if you recognize this gal here. Her name is Cynthia Thomas. You know her?
yeah, I think I do recognize her.
Yeah? Under
It's
what
like-
under what circumstances?
I think she's just like a crackhead down on Queen Street or some shit, like
Would
a
she-
bag lady or something.
Does she know you? Do you know her or
In passing, maybe, you know
Okay.
what I mean? Like,
okay? Does she know your name?
she might know me as, yeah, maybe as Hal or.
Okay. So
like,
you've seen her
I
around.
couldn't see her knowing my full name or anything like that, but.
Okay.
But yeah, like I think. Cynthia, you say? Yeah,
Cynthia.
I think I recognize her in passing. You know, like I don't know her, but I definitely recognize her from the neighborhood.
From the neighborhood. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'll tell you that this is the woman that's charged. Okay, and her name is Nicole Kish, which you probably read on the computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's also. Is that the bag lady that she attacked as well? Or?
No, it isn't. No,
oh, okay.
No, because there was another article about something else.
I was just reading that tonight.
Yeah.
So
that's the woman that's charged. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so, really, the main reason that we're here is to find out like your interactions with them in the park, which you've described.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to ask you, like,
I'm sorry, I can't.
Yep.
Like, you know,
it's clear that her, and these other people were at the intersection of Niagara and Queen when this took place, right? They had an interaction with this guy, and this guy ended up deceased. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, take your time and think about it. Were you there? Could you have been there? Did you see what happened?
No.
Did you see a fight? Did you hear yelling and screaming?
No, I don't. No, I don't know anything about these guys.
Okay.
Like, if I could help you, I'd help you, man.
Right.
Like, you know, I don't.
Do you know why they might be saying that you were there?
No, I don't in any way. I don't know these people.
Okay, so that's now maybe a little clearer as to why, you know.
I don't know why these people would mention my name or anything. You know what I mean? I met these people literally for an hour. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I put a polygraph on and tell you that. Like, I do not know these people.
Okay,
you know
cool.
What I mean?
No, that's all. That's the only reason I'm there. Like, I'm not saying.
Like, they might know of me, you know what I mean? Like, I've been around a long time in the traveling scene, you know what I mean? They might know my band, they might know of me, but I don't know these kids, like, at all.
Okay. So, I'll give you their names. This is the accused, Nicole Kish. She doesn't really play into it that much. Faith Watts, Jeremy Woolley, Douglas Fresh, or Douglas Kurz. Any of those names sound familiar to you?
No.
I appreciate people don't traditionally use their real names, but I thought I'd give them to you anyway.
Yeah, no. None of them even look familiar to me, to be honest, man. Like,
okay. When you pulled the article up on the internet, did her picture come up?
No.
Just the story?
Yeah, I read a couple things that you wrote about, like, the incident or whatever, and that's pretty much about it. And then I read the article that I think it was that man's family or friends of his wrote or whatever, saying that, you know, he's passed away and then she's out free and
she's on bail, in other words, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's something to do with, like, that's what I thought. Maybe that
she's not the other victim, no.
Homeless lady or whatever.
But you have seen her in the community.
Yeah, I've seen her around. Like, for sure, that girl looks familiar, you know.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to ask you is, how did you hear about what happened? Closer to when it happened, not like recently on the internet.
Well, I just heard about it. Like, I know a lot of people that live on the street, and it was a big ordeal, right?
Right.
Like, you know, I mean, everybody was talking about it. You know, I heard about Panhandler's attack, and you know what I mean. I just heard about the situation. I mean, what happened there, like, you know, for all the people that do live on the street that are good people, you know, it makes them look like shit. You know what I mean? It's not. These people don't represent, you know, every homeless person out there, you know what I mean? Like,
right. Now, traveler kids, what does that actually mean?
Oh, I just travel all the time, you know.
Right. Did you ever do that?
Yeah. When I was a kid, I traveled a lot, you know.
When you say travel, do you mean like from in and out of Canada or across Canada?
I just traveled in Canada. I've never been to Europe or the States, you know. I went as a kid, like my mom to the States or whatever, but no, I just traveled Canada, like from Nova Scotia to Vancouver.
Oh, really? Okay. How would you do it?
Ride trains, hitchhike, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Whatever.
Now, kids like that, they would do the same sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Strange question, as it may seem, that I'm going to ask you, but think about it. You yourself, you ever been stabbed?
No.
No? You don't any injuries on you from something like that, or?
Well, on my leg, me and my brother got into it. We were little kids. But...
I mean, on your chest, though. Your abdomen or your chest?
No.
Okay. I can't tell you where that comes from.
Yeah. What is?
Again, I can't tell you, but it's part of the investigation. And this gal here, you know why she'd be going around saying things as well?
No.
Okay. You ever have a beef with her? Get along with her?
No.
Angry at her, unhappy. She's unhappy with you. You're unhappy with her.
Like a 60-year-old crackhead lady.
Yeah.
I got no.
Exactly.
I don't.
No outstanding beef. No unresolved issues.
I don't beat up old ladies.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying you beat her up. I'm just saying if you had a beef.
No, I don't.
Nothing, eh?
No, I don't smoke crack. I don't deal with those kind of people.
Right. Did you ever hear from any kind of source, either credible or not credible, about what happened that night, like street talk coming to you about
nobody,
what it was all about?
Nobody really. Plus, I was in Nova Scotia for I think after that, I was working. I got a job working the boats out in Nova Scotia, and I was working the boats out there, so I wasn't even in Toronto for the large time after that,
So you left to go down to the coast?
Well, I was living in the coast. I was in Montreal. Then I got married. I have a kid now. I was living in Sault Ste. Marie, and then I just moved back here about 10 months ago or something like that, with my wife and child.
Right. And you continued with the music?
Yeah, I still make music, but I mean, I don't really associate with a lot of the people I used to, since my kid. And,
you're growing up, right?
Yeah, I work and.
Yeah, your brother said
my baby.
almost word for word. He says, "I'm getting too old for all this
That's
nonsense."
it, man. You know what I mean?
And these kids would be a lot younger than you were,
Yeah,
how old are you now?
I'm be 28 on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this is the new generation or whatever. I don't know them, man.
Okay.
I think what they did is, it's horrible.
Yep.
It's a horrible situation. And
so you didn't hear any street chatter about what happened?
well, like I said, I was working, nonstop out in Nova Scotia, and then I moved to the Sioux, and I'm married now, And
in August of 2007, how different was your appearance than it is now?
much the same.
Did you have longer hair, shorter hair? Did you have the goatee? Did you not have the
I
goatee?
always shave my head, and I always have.
You want to take your hat off just for a sec?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be your traditional appearance.
Yeah.
Okay, goatee.
Yeah, well, I change it up. Sometimes I have a full goatee.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Do you always wear the glasses as well, or?
Oh no, my glasses in me.
They're new, eh?
Yeah.
And they're prescription, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But in summer of 2007, were you wearing glasses?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. At the time, was your life significantly different than it is now in 2007? Like, for example, were you like you're well dressed now? Were you well dressed then? Did you have money in your pocket? Or
Yeah.
Were things going your way, or like they are
well,
now?
I mean, I still had alcohol issues, and,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I dressed the same, and
Okay.
I always kind of, a lot of pair of shoes and a lot of different hats, and
Okay.
I always
You took care of yourself?
Yeah, I take care of me. Like I never was like a patch punk rock, dirty, stinky.
Right.
Maybe when I was a little kid, but it's been years and years since
Right.
I always take care of myself.
And what about any criminal charges outstanding? Do you have a criminal record?
Yeah, I have a warrant in Montreal, and I have a warrant in Halifax, and I have a warrant in Winnipeg, all from. Well, the one in Halifax was when I got out there. I was drinking, and I left. I bought beer and chicken wings and didn't pay for the chicken wings, and I got arrested for that. And then I didn't stay around for court or whatever.
Yeah.
And then none of it's they don't want to pick me up on it or nothing. It's
Right.
all old from when I was homeless.
Right. And I guess
nothing serious all.
And you know about them because I guess on occasion when you interact with the police,
Yeah,
they say, hey, you got a warrant in Halifax.
I've been ran, before, and
Right.
plus I got arrested in Halifax, and I was released right away, but then I went back for fingerprints and whatnot, But then the boat that I was working on left, so I just left town. You know what I mean?
Okay. Is there anything else, Harold, that I haven't asked you that you think is important to helping me figure out what your tiny little role is in all
Well,
this?
I've been racking my brain trying to think, since my brother called me and told me that detectives were looking for me. But
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly don't. There's nothing I can really help you with.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know,
No, I appreciate it, but
what
as
I
you
mean?
can
But
imagine,
I don't know those kids, and I don't know anything about it. I didn't even I heard that some kids from the States, you know, or whatever, like gotten arrested for, you know, I didn't like, from what I read in the paper too, you know, like panhandlers attack someone, like it doesn't sound right to me, you know, I don't see some kids just stabbing a guy to death over not giving him change, you know what I mean? Like, not trying to justify what happened or anything, but I mean, you know, I'm sure there's a lot more to it than, you know, that, you know what I mean?
I appreciate that. And as you can imagine, in fairness to her, and she's charged with second-degree murder,
yeah,
so
I mean,
it's a life sentence, right?
Look at this girl, you know, she's a baby, you know, like.
And then in fairness to this guy's family, if a name comes up in the investigation, it's an incumbent on me to go to you and ask
like,
you, you know?
That's like I was saying about that SWAT team coming. That's why I'm like, I don't know who is fucking out to get me, you know. I don't know, you know, because like you say, you can't tell me, but
How long ago was that?
That was like around the same time, like, you know what I mean. That was because I had an apartment, and then like all that crap happened.
Where was that apartment?
Rushholm Road.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought I read something about that when I was looking at you. So you were never arrested and charged with that?
No, they apologized. Like,
they find a gun?
No gun. No, I've never owned a gun in my life. Like, no. I don't like Americans. I don't like guns. You know what I mean? I don't like the fact that there's guns here now. I don't like that kind of stuff. You know,
there's a lot of guns here. Yeah.
That's what I mean. I don't. You know, it's not a safe place like when I grew up. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I'm just going to show this photograph to the camera. Can you put your finger again, just to where you guys were hanging out?
I'd say right about here. Like if like this would be the basketball court, and you know a bunch of people right there.
Okay, so I'm just going to hold that up, put my pen just in the area. So basically right at the north side of the park.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. So there's nothing else that you
like
can
if
think
you
of?
went there, if you were to go to look, I think, like I know this park pretty well because I lived over here for a long time. I think there's like somewhat of a little hill you'll see in the park, and then that's where everybody was, like hanging around, you know.
And that's happened before. You've been there drinking
Oh
before.
yeah, like, you know, I go here, Bellwoods, there's a couple other parks up, you know what I mean? I drank in every park in the city, man, you know, like.
Okay. I want to throw a name out to you that might or might not have been in the park. I don't know if you recognize the name Nala. Nala.
Yeah, like.
She looks kind of her skin's
East
a little darker.
Or something. Yeah, I know Nala. Yeah.
Yeah. Was she there?
I can't remember, man. To tell you the truth.
Okay.
But I know
you know her.
Yeah, I know her. She's.
And how would you describe her? Is she a street person or traveler?
She's kind of. Yeah, I mean, she's like kind of a privileged. I think she comes from, you know, a good home or whatever. But I think she's. I don't know where she probably travels now. You know what I mean? She's.
You seen her recently, or?
No, I haven't seen her since I moved back.
Right.
But I mean, I think she was around that time, though. You know, I can't say where. I don't know if she was there that night. You know what I mean?
Your brother was there.
Yeah, my brother was there.
Do you recognize anybody else of those 10 or 15?
Oh man, I can't. Like, I honestly don't. And like, to be honest with you, man, like back then, like, you know, like 10 times a day we'd be in a different circle drinking. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty much what we did. You know, go out, make money, and drink.
Right. And how were you making money in 2007?
I used to fly a sign then, like just old cardboard. Yeah. But I made good money doing that. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. People are generous in the city, or?
Well, when we first started doing that, and Toronto used to be a bank for money. You know what I mean? It stopped. It went away, obviously. But.
Yeah. Well, this didn't help, I guess.
No, from what I heard, I mean, I haven't panhandled in a long time, but I mean, from what I heard from friends of mine that pan here and stuff, said that, you know, they pretty much ruined it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming in and taking the time.
Yeah.
Because I know it's time away from your family, so I appreciate that. And unless there's anything else, I'm gonna end it off. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry that I couldn't be
don't
more
apologize.
Like I said, I don't want to say that. You know, I mean, I recognize someone if I'm not sure.